Hello and welcome to today's Think Tank Accelerate program, Key Trends for 2014. Today's presentation is given by Robert Algeri, partner and co-founder at Great Jake's Marketing Company. His presentation is entitled, Website Practice Area Descriptions Are Awful, How Market Forces and Technology Mean We Must and Can Fix Them. The Accelerate program is a series of 8 short webinar-style recordings, each addressing a key trend we believe is coming in 2014. After each webinar is recorded, you'll find the video recording available on the Think Tank page on the Legal Marketing website. That's legalmarketing.org/thinktank. In today's presentation, Robert is going to talk about how practice area descriptions have long been the neglected stepchildren of legal marketing, accounting for less than 10% of overall law firm website traffic. Unfortunately, they essentially say, we do practically everything for practically everybody, and that approach won't win new clients. Robert will explain how making these practice pages more focused, more information-rich, and more dynamic is necessary and in 2014 a practical reality. If you'd like to comment on this presentation, please do so on social media using hashtags Accelerate and Practice Areas, as written on the bottom of this slide.
Thank you for having me participate in the Think Tank. I'm thrilled to do so. As you know, my name is Robert Algeri. I'm a partner in a company called Great Jake's, and we build smarter websites for smarter law firms. And today, I'm speaking about practice areas and why they're awful, and hopefully answering the question, should we care? Now, I think we can all agree that practice area descriptions have long been the neglected stepchildren of legal marketing. And the traffic data tells us that barely anyone visits them. We did a study a few years ago about law firm website traffic patterns and found that the majority of the traffic that happens on law firm websites happen on the bios. And on average, only 9% go to the practice areas. Now, why do practice areas get so little love? Well, I think one reason is because they look like this. As marketers, we've learned a long time ago that long passages of dense text is not the best way to engage website visitors. But looks aside, I think the real reason why practice areas get so little love is evidenced in the text. The typical practice area description offers very little to distinguish itself from other firms. In fact, many practice area descriptions seem to go out of their way to be undistinguished, to be all things to all people. So, here's an example of what I mean by that. This is some text that we found. Our veteran attorneys provide a wide range of legal services and advice to individuals and businesses in a wide array of industries. Our vastly versatile and experienced team, ... I think you've heard this before. This is typical practice area text, and it says a lot of nothing. In my conversations with in-house marketers and writers of practice area descriptions, something that we've learned is that it's clear that writing something that doesn't say a lot of nothing is extremely hard. One reason is because most practice areas want to keep the door open to do any type of work for anyone. But the unintended consequence of that approach is that it fails to resonate with anyone. Nobody reads this and says, I finally found the lawyers that can help me. But for us, as the guys that build the websites, the saddest part of this story is that firms spend tons of time and effort working on the practice areas. And this effort really doesn't yield much. So, could practice areas be made better? Well, this was a question that we posed to ourselves, and we thought a long time about the answer. And we challenged ourselves to imagine how practice areas could be better. What could be the most perfect practice area page, and how would it look What content could it contain? And these conversations that we had led us to design some mock-ups to help put some form to our ideas. And this is what the team came up with. You notice right from the top where it says real estate, hotels, and resorts, there's a clear, crisp position, followed by some succinct text that clearly describes the value that this practice area is able to offer. It has a magazine-style layout with engaging visuals. Social media integration. Essentially what you have here is a multi-page section with case studies and news and publications and related events and blog posts and anything else that's going to help this practice area communicate what it does and the value it offers to potential clients. Basically what you have here is a dossier of cutting-edge thought leadership, resources, and people all packaged into one place. Isn't this great? In an ideal world, every practice area would be treated like a separate business unit and receive this type of marketing treatment. But I'm going to be honest with you. When I volunteered to make this presentation, my intention was to speak about this reimagined practice area. I wanted to show you all the neato CMS tools that we had developed and other tools that are developed out there that would allow firms to create remarkable pages just like this for all of their practice areas. And then we realized it's never going to happen. As the listeners of this webinar are aware, the forces that relegate practice area pages to mediocrity are very powerful. For starters, it's difficult to get a practice group to agree on a single mission and marketing message. There are a lot of competing interests. Additionally, marketing resources are unfortunately stretched too thin. If you're a sizable law firm with 60 different practice groups, that means you have 60 different messages to 60 different audiences. You might be able to create a remarkable practice area page or section for a few of those groups, but it's not realistic to think that you could do it for everyone. So what's the answer? What should law firms do about awful practice area pages? Well, I'm going to throw out a crazy idea. What if we just don't fight it? What if we just get comfortable with the fact that your structured finance practice area may always be a page with dull, undifferentiated text? So instead of redoubling our efforts, maybe we just don't. In fact, maybe we do the opposite. Maybe we do less with the practice areas. Let's chop down the 2,000 word practice area description to 200 and take whatever energy currently being spent on your practice areas and let's focus it somewhere else. Focus it on something that might actually help develop business for the firm. All right, so what could that be? Well, I'm going to propose we start thinking about emerging issues. Focus your online marketing efforts around a small handful of emerging issues. So what's an emerging issue? Well, these are issues that contain three key characteristics. First, they're just coming onto the radar of your clients. Second, they're disruptive, and they have the potential to reshape an entire industry. And third, and most importantly, they deal with matters which your firm could sell lucrative services around. Now, emerging issues are often centered around big new laws like Obamacare, or disruptive new technologies like nanotech, or perhaps a disaster like the BP oil spill. So I went back to my team and said, all right, let's strap on the thinking caps. Let's imagine what an emerging issues section could look like on a law firm website. And here's what they came up with. Okay, so why emerging issues? Because they're exciting. Big change that has the potential to alter entire industries is exciting. Turmoil is exciting. And if there's something new, exciting, and poorly understood, people will be seeking out information on that topic. And that's where we want to be. We want to be at that intersection. Okay. An interesting idea, right? Something worth mulling over. But you're probably asking yourself, is anyone actually doing this emerging issues thing? Well, if you have some time, you might want to check out Nelson Levine. They've done a pretty good job of implementing this strategy. Their firm is focused on the insurance industry, and they have created microsites for a dozen emerging issues facing that industry. For instance, when Superstorm Sandy occurred last year, they launched the new emerging issues section, complete with articles and resources, in less than a week. Now, I should point out that Nelson Levine is not a large firm. They have less than 100 attorneys with a marketing staff of 3, but they saw that they could command the attention of the industry that they focused in and the media by packaging valuable information into a single section of their website. The result was that they positioned themselves as an authority on a major issue. And as we know, as marketers, positioning is key. Positioning is about focusing your marketing efforts on a highly specific market niche as a means of distinguishing ourselves from our competitors. Practice areas, by their very nature, often lack good positioning. They try to be everything to everybody, and this lack of positioning makes them incredibly difficult to market. Now, while practice areas often lend themselves to bad positioning, emerging issues, on the other hand, lend themselves to remarkable positioning. And so what's remarkable positioning? Remarkable positioning occurs when your market niche is so unique and your expertise in this area is so deep that you radically reduce the number of viable competitors. That's the promise of emerging issues. They give you the opportunity to reduce the number of viable competitors. Do that, and you've achieved marketing nirvana. And you've paved your firm a path to business success. Thank you very much. This has been Robert Algeri from Great Jakes Marketing. Enjoyed speaking with you today.